My wife slept with my own brother. While I was caring for our family, they tried to ruin me in court, but I made them pay everything. I'm a 32-year-old man, and Anna, who is 31, was what everyone called the perfect partner. You know the type. College. Sweethearts, dated for 4 years, married for 3, had our whole future mapped out. I'm a software developer. Yeah, the typical Reddit guy, laugh out loud, and she worked, or I guess used to work, in marketing. We had this nice house in one of those cookie-cutter suburbs where every home looks the same, but everyone acts like theirs is unique. We even had the whole white picket fence set up. 2 dogs, Max and Bella, both rescue mutts because we're those kinds of people. A garden she never bothered to care for but insisted on having anyway. And one of those fancy Peloton bikes that ended up just being an expensive clothes hanger. Living the millennial dream, right? I actually met Anna at this painfully awkward frat party in college. I was a shy computer science major, and she was this stunning marketing student who was way out of my league. Like the kind of girl I'd have been too nervous to even say hi to. But I was drunk enough to throw out a terrible pickup line about Java and coffee. Computer science majors will get that one. Instead of cringing, she actually laughed. I still don't know if it was pity laughter, but hey, it worked. We started hanging out and things just clicked. She seemed into all the nerdy stuff I loved. Later, I found out she was mostly faking it, but that's another story. We had this habit of binge-watching entire seasons of shows over a weekend. The Office was our favorite. We even dressed up as Jim and Pam for Halloween one year. Cringe, I know, but we were that couple. I really put effort into the relationship. Not gonna lie. I was the guy who remembered not just anniversaries but random milestones like our first pizza date or the first time we went grocery shopping together. Silly stuff. But she used to love it. I planned these elaborate date nights, surprised her, with little gifts for no reason, even learned how to make her favorite pasta from scratch. I spent like 6 hours watching YouTube tutorials just to get it right. The first 2 years of marriage were actually pretty good. We'd cook together on Sundays. Well, I'd cook while she supervised, sipping coffee and scrolling on her phone. But it was our thing. Weekends were for hiking with the dogs or having epic game nights with friends. We were that annoying couple posting everything on Instagram with cheesy captions like, living my best life with my person, mostly her posting, but I went along with it. Our friends joked we were couple goals, the kind that makes single. People want to puke. I even got along well with her family at first. Her dad and I would watch football together, even though I'm not really into sports. But you do what you have to. Her mom was always trying to feed me these amazing Italian dishes because she thought I was too skinny. Her brother became one of my gaming buddies. We'd play Call of Duty every Thursday night. My family loved her too, like really loved her. My mom always said she finally had the daughter she wanted. Sorry, Jenny. I guess being my actual sister wasn't enough. My brother Ryan and Anna got along great as well. We had all these plans, talking about having kids in a couple of years, looking at houses in better school districts, even starting a savings account for a down payment. Anna had names picked out for our future kids, which, thank God, never happened. We were ticking all the boxes society told us to. I remember this one night, maybe 6 months before everything fell apart. We were sitting on our back deck, planning our future, talking about growing old together, traveling after retirement, all that naive, romantic nonsense you think about before life smacks you in the face. Man, if I could go back and warn myself about what was coming. But yeah, that was the start. The calm before the storm, I guess. Looking back, there were probably warning signs I ignored. But isn't that how these stories always go? When you're wearing rose-colored glasses, all those red flags just look like flags, right? I saw that quote on Reddit once. It's actually pretty fitting. So, around the 3rd year of marriage, things began to change. It was subtle at first. You know how it goes. The little things you notice but try to brush off as nothing. Anna started working late, a lot. And I don't mean just the usual crunch for a big project. I'm talking about coming home at 10 p.m. regularly. She started coming home smelling like she'd bathed in someone else's cologne. But dumb me, I actually believed her excuses about client dinners and team-building events. I should have realized something was off when she began dressing way more for these work gatherings than she ever did for our date nights. Speaking of date nights, those became a joke. We had this rule that Fridays were our time, no phones, no work, just us hanging out and doing whatever. But suddenly, every time I planned something, she'd either say she was too tired or spend the whole evening glued to her phone. I remember this one night I spent 3 hours cooking a fancy steak dinner, found the recipe on our favorite cooking channel, and she barely looked up from her phone the entire time. When I called her out, she got defensive, saying, "God, can't I just check my work emails? Some of us have important jobs." Yeah, because apparently my software developer gig at a Fortune 500 company was just me playing Minecraft all day or something. Remember those little things we used to do? The random memes we'd send each other all day, the inside jokes, those silly TikTok dances she made me do. All gone. She stopped asking about my day, stopped caring if I ate lunch, basically stopped doing anything that showed she cared about me as a person. Even the dogs noticed something was wrong. Max and Bella used to be her babies. She was the one who insisted on adopting them. But suddenly, she couldn't be bothered to walk or play with them. It was always, "I'm too tired, you do it. They're your dogs, too." They started acting really down whenever she was around, like they sensed something was off. The weird part? She was still all about family gatherings, really into them. Always asking when we were going to my parents' next, wanting to hang out. With my brother Ryan, acting like the perfect daughter-in-law in front of my mom. Meanwhile, my sister Jenny kept giving me looks like she wanted to tell me something but couldn't. I should have pushed her harder, but honestly, I didn't want to hear it. I tried talking to Anna about all this several times, but every conversation went the same way. One day, I sat across from her, feeling this heavy weight in my chest. "I feel like we're drifting apart," I said, my voice careful but shaky under the pressure. She rolled her eyes, barely looking up from her phone. "Oh my God, you're so needy. I'm just busy with work," she said, her tone sharp and dismissive, like I was asking for something ridiculous. I swallowed the frustration building inside. Me. "I miss spending time together," I said softer this time, but meant it just as much. She sighed, exasperated, like I'd asked her to move a mountain. "Not everything's about you. I'm stressed, all right." I took a deep breath, steadying myself. "Maybe we could try couples therapy just to—" She scoffed and cut me off before I could finish. "We don't need therapy. You need to stop being so insecure." Silence stretched between us. She went back to scrolling on her phone. And me? I just sat there realizing she wasn't busy. She just didn't care. Classic gaslighting, right? But when you're in it, you don't see it that way. I actually started believing maybe I was too needy. I even started seeing a therapist on my own, which helped a lot later when everything blew up. What made it worse was that she was still posting all these happy couple pictures on Instagram, like she'd make me take 50 photos just to get the perfect, spontaneous shot of us enjoying life, then immediately go back to ignoring me. Our social media life looked perfect while our real life was falling apart. Peak millennial marriage problems, I guess. I started noticing other suspicious signs, too. She'd leave the room to take phone calls, changed her phone password, started doing her own laundry after years of mixing all our clothes, got a gym membership at some fancy place across town when there was a perfectly good gym 5 minutes from our house. You know, the classic signs your spouse might be cheating that you read about, but never think will happen to you. My friends tried to warn me. My buddy Mike, who'd been through his own divorce nightmare, kept saying things like, "Bro, something's not right and you deserve better." But I'd defend her, make excuses. She's just stressed about work, or things will get better once this big project wraps up. I even tried the whole win her back routine, planned surprise dates, bought her flowers, tried to get into hobbies she liked. But you can't win back someone who's already checked out. You know, she'd just get annoyed, like I was, interrupting her life by trying to be her husband. The final straw came one Sunday while I was doing laundry, because of course I was still doing her laundry like a sucker. I found a receipt in the pocket of her pants. It was from this fancy Italian restaurant downtown, the kind where a plate of pasta costs more than my entire Netflix subscription for the month. The receipt was dated for a Tuesday lunch, which was odd because she'd told me she had a big client meeting at the office that day. Now, I'm not usually the snooping type. For some dumb reason, I trusted her, but something about that receipt kept bothering me. Maybe because she'd been bragging about landing all these new clients. Yet whenever I asked about meeting them for dinner, she'd say it wasn't appropriate. But lunch, that didn't add up, so I did something I'm not proud of. I checked our shared Google timeline. Yeah, that creepy feature that tracks everywhere you go. And holy crap, there were way too many client meetings at hotels, parks, random restaurants, pretty much everywhere except her actual office. I spent about 3 hours going through her location history. Fun way to spend a Sunday, right? The pattern was clear. Whenever she said she was working late or had team events, she was actually at places like the Marriott downtown or this park across the city. But here's the thing. I still didn't know who she was with, just that she definitely wasn't where she claimed to be. Then I found the burner phone. I wasn't even looking for it. I was grabbing her gym bag to do more laundry, and this old iPhone fell out, one of those ancient models people keep as backups. Except this one had a passcode. Later, when I asked her about it, she totally freaked out. "Hey, I found this old phone in your gym bag. Is it broken or something?" I asked. She barely glanced at it before her eyes widened. Then suddenly, she lunged forward and snatched it from my hands like I was holding classified government secrets. "That's private," she snapped, voice sharp and defensive. I blinked. "Private? It's just an old phone." She clutched it to her chest like it was her lifeline, her whole body stiffening. "God, why are you going through my stuff?" Her voice got higher, breath quickening. "This is why I can't trust you." I just stood there, stunned. I was the one being untrustworthy. She couldn't even look me in the eye. Classic Darvo move. Deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. She tried to make me feel guilty for discovering her secret phone. But the best part? In her panic to grab the burner phone, she knocked over her regular iPhone and it fell face up on the couch. A message preview popped up. "Miss you, baby," from a contact named Work Project. Subtle, right? I didn't confront her right then. Instead, I spent the next few days watching her. She'd get those messages and smile like a teenager, then quickly glance up to see if I was watching. She'd take calls in the other room, whispering, even though she claimed it was just work stuff. One time, I heard her giggle and say, "Stop it. You're bad," before noticing me and quickly hanging up. I decided to check our credit card statements, found charges from hotels on days she was supposed to be at client dinners, not even nice hotels. We're talking Holiday Inn Express level places. Classy. That was it for me. I couldn't keep living this nightmare, digging for clues, seeing signs, and forcing myself to ignore them. She had already checked out of the marriage. I was just the last to admit it. I packed all her stuff while she was at work, just stuffing it into garbage bags because I was feeling petty, didn't even fold anything, left it all in the garage, changed the locks, sent her a text, found the burner phone, saw the hotel charges. "Don't come home. We're done." The flood of messages I got after that was insane. First came denial. "What are you talking about? You're crazy. Let me explain." Then the classic blame shifting. "This is why I had to look elsewhere. If you paid more attention to me, you wouldn't be so busy." Then the threats. "I'll tell everyone. You abuse me. You'll regret this. My lawyer will destroy you." Then she showed up at the house crying, banging on the door, screaming about how I was jumping to conclusions and how she could explain everything. Meanwhile, I was just sitting on the couch with the dogs, watching her meltdown on our Ring camera, like it was an episode of Real Housewives. The next few days were chaotic. My phone blew up non-stop, not just from Anna, but from almost everyone we knew. Apparently, she'd launched a massive PR campaign telling her side of the story. According to her, I was a controlling lunatic who misunderstood everything and was throwing away our marriage for no reason. My family kept calling too. Looking back, their reactions felt off, like they were more worried about me jumping to conclusions than about what was actually happening. My mom kept saying things like, "Marriage takes work and everyone makes mistakes." Even my sister Jenny was acting super shady. Then Lily showed up at my door. Quick backstory on Lily. She was Anna's best friend since college, maid of honor at our wedding, girls' night every week, knew all our secrets, kind of best friend. She was always cool with me. But we weren't really close, just the usual hey when she came over to hang with Anna. So anyway, it's like 11 p.m. I'm on the couch in my pajamas, binge-watching Breaking Bad because why not be depressed while watching a depressing show and the doorbell rings? I check the Ring camera, paranoid Anna might be showing up again. It's Lily, clearly drunk and crying. I sighed and opened the door. You okay?" I asked. Lily sniffled, wiping her face with shaky hands. I can't keep lying," she slurred, voice raw. "She's horrible. You're so nice, and she's just horrible." She let out a shaky breath, then whispered, "I just had a fight with her." Her voice cracked. A bad one. I stepped aside. "Want to come in? Maybe have some water?" She nodded weakly and stumbled inside. The moment she hit the couch, she collapsed into it like all the fight had drained from her. Then, just like that, the floodgates opened. "She's been cheating for months," Lily whispered, voice thick with guilt. I knew, and I didn't say anything. I stiffened. I'd suspected it for so long, but hearing it out loud still hit hard. "Who is it?" I asked, voice steadier than I felt. Lily shut her eyes and shook her head. "I can't." "Lily." "Who?" She opened her mouth, then closed it again. Her whole body was trembling now. "It's worse than you think," she murmured. "You're going to hate everyone when you find out." A chill ran down my spine. My mind raced, filling in blanks I wasn't sure I wanted answers to, but at this point, I had no choice. We talked for hours. Not just about Anna, but about everything. Love, mistakes, and the slow, painful realization that something ends long before you admit it. For the first time, I really saw Lily. Not just as Anna's friend, but as herself. The way her dark eyes softened when she spoke. The way she pushed her hair behind her ear when nervous. She had this effortless warmth I hadn't felt in a long time. "You deserved better," she whispered. I let out a dry laugh. "Funny," she never acted like it. Lily didn't argue. She just looked at me, really looked. And for the first time in years, I felt seen. One thing led to another. Yeah, we kissed. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't about Anna at all. It was warmth after years of cold. The next morning was awkward as hell. Lily was super embarrassed about spilling everything, and I worried I'd taken advantage of her being drunk, even though she kissed me first. We agreed to keep everything quiet until the divorce was final. But, man, that kiss changed everything. Suddenly I wasn't just angry about Anna cheating. I was actually excited about the future. Like maybe this whole disaster was pushing me toward something better. The next few weeks were a weird dance of secret texts with Lily, avoiding Anna's constant attempts to explain, and dealing with my family's increasingly strange behavior. Everyone seemed to be taking sides, but the sides made no sense. People who should have been on my side were defending Anna, and people I barely knew were reaching out to support me. I hired a badass lawyer named Frank. Not his real name, obviously. At our first meeting, I laid out everything, the burner phone, the hotel receipts, the Google timeline. He just nodded, took notes, then looked up and said, "There's more going on here than you know, but we'll handle this smart." Frank told me not to confront anyone yet. Just gather evidence, stay quiet, and wait. He said the truth would come out in court anyway, and it'd be better not to show my hand early. Meanwhile, Lily and I kept growing closer. Nothing physical after that first kiss. We both agreed to keep things proper until after the divorce, But we texted for hours. She'd send me dumb memes at 3 a.m. or share songs she thought I'd like. It was nice. Just nice. Anna tried every trick in the book to get me to talk. Showing up at work, getting banned by security, sending flying monkeys and mutual friends to guilt-trip me, even trying to use the dogs against me, suddenly claiming she missed them after barely acknowledging them for months. The weirdest part was how my family was acting. My mom kept inviting me over for dinner but got strange whenever I asked who else would be there. Ryan, my brother, stopped gaming with me online but was posting pictures at family events I wasn't invited to. Jenny was outright avoiding me. The day before court was complete chaos. My lawyer, Frank, called to prep me for what might happen and dropped this bomb. Just be ready for anything tomorrow, and I mean anything. When I pressed for more details, he just said, "Trust me, you'll want to be sitting down when this all comes out." I was getting cryptic texts from everyone. My mom sent a strange message. "I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive." Forgive what? For what? Jenny, my sister, tried calling me like 6 times but hung up before I could answer. Even my buddy Mike, who hadn't talked to me in weeks, sent a "you holding up okay, bro?" text at like 2 a.m. Lily was acting extra weird too. We'd been texting constantly for weeks. Nothing serious, just chatting, but suddenly she went quiet. Her last message was, "I'm so sorry. You'll hate me tomorrow, but please remember I wanted to tell you." Then radio silence. I spent that night stress cleaning my apartment. The dogs kept looking at me like, "Dude, chill," but also wouldn't leave my side. We all eventually passed out on the couch watching Kitchen Nightmares because Gordon Ramsay yelling at people was oddly comforting. Around 3 a.m., I got an email from Anna. Subject line: "Please read before tomorrow." Did I open it? Hell no. Archived it faster than my ex could say. It wasn't what you think, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't curious. Then the bomb dropped. A text from my brother Ryan. "Hey man, don't come to court tomorrow. We can settle this without making it messy. I'll explain everything later." I didn't sleep at all that night. Just sat on my couch scrolling through old photos on my phone like an idiot. Found a picture from last Christmas. Me, Anna, my whole family. Everyone smiling like we didn't have a care in the world. Weird how life can flip upside down in just a few months. Frank texted me around 6 a.m. "Wear your Navy suit. Look successful, but not flashy. And whatever happens in there, do not lose your cool. Let me handle everything." I got to the courthouse early. Anxiety is one hell of an alarm clock. Sat in my car for about an hour, watching people come and go, wondering how many other lives were falling apart inside today. Saw Lily pull up. She looked exhausted too. We made eye contact, but she just shook her head and went inside. That's when my stomach really started doing flips. Then my parents arrived together, looking stressed. My mom tried to wave, but Dad stopped her. They hurried inside like they were late for something. Jenny came next, saw my car, and literally sprinted inside in heels. That's when I knew whatever was about to happen was going to be bad. Walking into that courthouse felt like heading to my own execution. But holy hell, I had no idea what was waiting inside. So there I was, sitting in this fancy courtroom that looked exactly like the ones on TV. Frank was next to me, flipping through papers like he was hunting for the nuclear codes. The room was heavy with silence, the kind right before everything goes to hell. Then the door opened. Anna walked in wearing this innocent white dress like she was auditioning to play the Virgin Mary or something. But that wasn't what made my jaw drop. She was holding hands with my brother Ryan, full-on holding hands in court in front of everyone, right there in front of me. My brain just froze. All those weird pieces suddenly snapped into place. The family's strange behavior, Lily's guilt, Ryan's sudden disappearance from my life. All those client meetings, at times Ryan was supposedly working late too. Frank grabbed my arm. Guess I started standing without realizing it, and whispered, "Sit down. Let them dig their own grave." Anna and Ryan sat at the other table with their lawyer, some young guy who looked as uncomfortable as a vegan at a barbecue. Ryan wouldn't even look my way, but Anna kept shooting me side glances like she was checking if I was about to lose it. The judge came in, an older guy who looked like he'd seen it all, and the show began. Anna's lawyer spun this rom-com-worthy tale about how love finds a way, how Anna and Ryan never meant to hurt anyone, and how you just can't help who you fall in love with. I sat there thinking I was having a stroke. Like, is this actually happening? Did my brother really just walk into court holding hands with my wife while their lawyer tries to convince everyone this is some beautiful love story? Then it got better. Anna started crying full-on tears about how confused and lost she was in our marriage and how Ryan was just trying to help her through a difficult time. And things just happened. Just happened. Like what? They just tripped and fell into bed together multiple times at various hotels across town for months. But here's the best part. Their lawyer tried to argue that the prenup should be void because of emotional distress and family circumstances. Basically saying that since Ryan's my brother, all the normal rules should be thrown out. Frank just sat there with this small smile. When it was his turn, he stood up slowly, straightened his toupee and said, "Your Honor, before we continue, I'd like to present evidence of how this love story actually played out." Then he pulled out this thick folder I'd never seen before and started laying out papers one by one. Screenshots of their text messages. The burner phone wasn't so secure after all. Hotel receipts paid with our joint account. Photos of them together from before we separated. Bank statements showing Ryan had been helping Anna move money around. And a timeline proving they'd been hooking up since Christmas. The judge's face grew stormier with each new piece of evidence. Frank even had emails between them planning how to break the news after the divorce was final. They had this whole scheme worked out. Wait until the divorce was done, then go public with their relationship like it just happened. Ryan finally looked at me trying to do this "I'm sorry, bro" face. I just stared back until he looked away. Anna was full-on ugly crying. Mascara everywhere. The judge wasn't impressed. He started asking really pointed questions about timeline inconsistencies, the money, and their story. Every answer just dug them deeper. Then he looked right at them and said, "This court does not look kindly upon deliberate deception. The prenuptial agreement stands. Just like that, all their romantic nonsense, all their planning and manipulation, was shot down in 2 minutes. The court drama was over, but apparently my family didn't get the memo that I wanted nothing to do with them." A week after the hearing, my mom launched a massive text campaign to bring the family back together. Like somehow a nice pot roast would make me forget my brother was sleeping with my wife. It started with casual texts. "We miss you, honey." Then escalated to, "Family is forever, and we need to move past this." The final straw was when she sent a group text announcing a family dinner that Sunday. Didn't ask if I wanted to come, just said, "Dinner at 6. Everyone will be there. We're fixing this." I ignored it at first, but then Jenny, my sister, called me crying. Actually crying. "Please come," she sobbed. "Mom's losing it. She's convinced she can fix everything if we just have dinner together like normal." I laughed. "Jenny, what part of this is normal?" I know, but maybe we should try for Mom. Is Ryan coming?" Silence. "Is he bringing Anna?" More silence. "Yeah, that's what I thought, but something inside me snapped. Maybe it was the bourbon I'd been drinking. Maybe weeks of pent-up rage. I decided to go, not to make peace, but to watch them squirm. I showed up exactly on time. Everyone else was already there, sitting in the living room like it was any other Sunday dinner. Ryan and Anna were on the love seat. Mom fussed with appetizers. Dad pretended to watch golf. Jenny saw my face and immediately poured me a drink. Mom tried to play hostess. "Honey, we saved your usual seat." My usual seat. Right between Ryan and Dad. Yeah. No. I stayed standing. The silence was thick enough to cut with a knife. Then Ryan, this absolute clown, tried to break the ice. "Hey bro, how's work?" I just stared at him like, Did this guy really just ask me about work like he didn't blow up my entire life? Mom jumped in. Let's eat. I made your favorite lasagna. We moved to the dining room. Mom set it up like Thanksgiving. Her best china, fancy napkins, the works, as if good table settings could fix betrayal. Dad tried to say grace. Actually tried to thank God for bringing the family together. I had to bite my tongue to keep from laughing. The first 10 minutes were just the sound of forks scraping plates. Then Mom started her prepared speech. We're family. Families forgive. Families heal. What happened was unfortunate, but Ryan and Anna are in love, real love. Sometimes, these things, I cut her off. These things? What? Mom, it just happened. Like Ryan accidentally fell on my wife. Language, Dad snapped. The first thing he said all night. Oh, I'm sorry. Is my language offensive? More offensive than my brother screwing my wife. Anna started crying. Ryan put his arm around her. I wanted to throw up in Mom's fancy lasagna. Then Mom announced they were getting married. It's supposed to make everything better. In June. We'd love for you to be there. I actually laughed out loud. Are you insane? Actually insane? It would mean so much to your brother, Mom said. My brother? I stood up so fast my chair fell over. The same brother who was sleeping with my wife while I was taking care of Dad during his cancer scare. Dead silence. Dad didn't know about that part. You were there during my cancer treatment, I said. Dad looked at Ryan like he was seeing him for the first time. Ryan started stammering. It wasn't. We didn't show them the pictures, he said. I said, Jenny, look. She looked up. What pictures? I pulled out my phone, opened the folder Frank gave me, and started swiping through security camera stills. Ryan sneaking into my house, Anna letting him in. Timestamps told the whole story. One was from when Dad was having his first chemo session. Remember that, Ryan? When you said you couldn't come to the hospital because of work? Mom was crying now. Dad just stared at his plate. Jenny looked like she wanted to disappear. And this one. Christmas Eve, when Ryan said he was stuck at the airport. Guess my bed was more comfortable than those airport chairs, huh? Anna ran from the table. Ryan went after her. Mom was full-on sobbing. Dad finally looked at me. Son, we didn't know. Didn't know or didn't want to know. I stood up, surprisingly calm. Thanks for dinner, Mom. The lasagna was great. Don't invite me to the wedding. I walked to the door but turned back, looking at Ryan. Oh, and Ryan? Anna likes to sleep with her ex's brothers. Might want to keep her away from any you've got. The look on his face was better than any revenge I could have planned. I got in my car and drove straight to Lily's place. I showed up at her door, probably looking like hell, still in my dinner clothes, smelling like Mom's lasagna and regret. Lily took one look at me and just got it. Didn't ask questions or try to fix anything, just hugged me tightly, pulled me inside, and poured me a drink. We sat on her balcony for hours. She's got this tiny apartment, but the view is incredible. We talked about everything, not just the Anna and Ryan mess, but real stuff. Dreams we'd put on hold, places we want to see, why we both hate olives but keep trying them anyway, hoping our taste buds will change. At some point, Lily looked at me and said, You know what? The worst part was watching her throw away someone who actually gave a damn. Do you know how rare that is? That hit different because, yeah, I did give a damn. Still do, I guess. Not about Anna. She can choke. On her wedding cake for all I care. But about relationships, right? About being the kind of person who tries, you know? The next few times Lily and I hung out, we just talked, watched dumb movies, took the dogs to this dog park she knew about, started building something real without all the drama and lies. It's been 4 months since the court hearing. A lot's changed. Dad actually left Mom. Turns out watching your wife defend your cheating son during your cancer treatment is a pretty solid deal-breaker. He's got an apartment across town and started going to therapy. We get coffee sometimes, just us. It's awkward, but we're trying. Jenny is talking to me again. She apologized like 100 times for keeping their secret. Said she was scared of breaking up the family. I get it now, even if I don't agree with it. Fear makes people do stupid things. Mom still sends those family is everything texts. I delete them. She tried to tell me Ryan and Anna postponed their wedding in case I change my mind about attending. I changed my number. The other day I ran into them at the grocery store. Ryan looked like he wanted to say something. Anna suddenly became very interested in organic tomatoes. I just walked past them with my cart, grabbed my stuff, and left. Didn't feel anything. That's progress. I think the dogs love Lily. Like, really love her. Max, who usually takes forever to warm up to people, started bringing her his favorite toy the third time she came over. Bella basically lives in her lap whenever she's around. Dogs know good people when they meet them. We made it official last month. Took it slow. Did it right. Our first real date was this hole-in-the-wall ramen place where we both got terribly lost trying to find it and ended up laughing in the rain for like 20 minutes. It was perfect. I also got a promotion at work. Moved to a new apartment, one without security cameras and shitty memories. Started playing guitar again, badly, but Lily claimed she liked it. The other day, I was making dinner, and Lily was sitting on my counter telling me about her day. Max and Bella sprawled at her feet, and it hit me. This is what real happiness feels like. Not the Instagram perfect fake Anna and me had, but genuine, messy, beautiful happiness. Do I still get angry sometimes? Yeah. Do I miss my old life? Hell no. Last week, Lily found an old photo of me and Anna in a drawer, asked if I wanted to throw it out. I looked at it, us smiling at some family thing, Ryan probably taking the picture, and realized I didn't feel anything. No anger, no pain. Just nothing. Tossed it in the trash and went back to making dinner. Lily put on some music. The dogs were begging for scraps. Just another normal evening. And you know what? Normal's pretty damn good.